You want to talk about a comeback? You want to talk about the culture of a hockey team shining through in a game that honestly was kind of boring at the beginning? Let's talk about the Red Wings versus the Buffalo Sabres, the early game on tonight's feature for NHL action. And honestly, yeah, no, not tonight, it's today. This game started really early at like 10 a.m. PST over here. And, you know, this was one of those games where when you're watching it, it kind of felt like if you were to record this game and just turn it on sometime next week, you know, you're like, okay, let's watch that Red Wings Sabres game from the other day. And you turn on this game and you watch it. You don't even need to look at the time of the program to tell that this was the early game. Buffalo and the building, it was just so quiet. It's 1 p.m. PST over there when these folks are going into that arena watching this Sabres team play the Red Wings. And even after the goals, you know, the goal horn, it went off, and the fans, they were cheering, but like, was it just me, or was this game a boring, quiet game? Not quiet as in like the way they were playing, but quiet as in the volume. This was a strange one to watch, and it was one of those that's just kind of like in the background, but either way, we have ourselves a very, very nice Red Wings comeback to talk about. It's a 3-2 overtime victory here for the Wings in Buffalo, and it comes a few days after they shut out that same Buffalo Sabres team for nothing. Now, this one, even though it wasn't as flashy in terms of the goal production right away, this was a pretty boring game for like the first, I want to say like 45 minutes. Like, it wasn't that much of a fun one. The scoring starts out in the first period where the Buffalo Sabres win the faceoff in the offensive zone. Skinner plays it back to the defenseman. Joki Harju goes to Dahlin, who goes back to Joki Harju. He comes in, he shoots it, and he scores. It goes right by Nedeljkovic, and that is all that we have for a while. No scoring after that goal in the first period, no scoring in the second period. In the third period, we have ourselves what is a play where the puck bounces out in front of Nedeljkovic a little bit. Eventually, it's Jeff Skinner who spins and he shoots it, it goes in, and it's 2-0 Buffalo. On the same sequence, the Red Wings get assessed a bench minor, so Adam Ernie goes to the box to serve it. And at this point, you're kind of feeling to yourself, okay, what the hell? Like, the Red Wings are playing a boring game, Buffalo is playing a boring game, they just went up 2-0, and now the Red Wings are shorthanded? Come on, there's like 10 minutes left in the game, what gives? And the Red Wings. Yeah, that's the answer, the Red Wings. The Red Wings give, as just under a minute after that Jeff Skinner goal, the Red Wings almost go on a 3-on-1 rush shorthanded. The guy on the left wing decides to drop back, so it's Seider and Namestnikov who find themselves in the offensive zone on the rush. Seider goes over to Namestnikov, he takes the puck off his skate, and he dangles it right by Arundel to break the shutout streak and get Detroit on the board. It's 2-1 with about 9-ish minutes to go here in the third period, and the Red Wings have finally broken through. There you go, there's some energy. Sure, it's even quieter now because it's an away team goal in a Buffalo arena that hasn't really gotten filled all too much in any of these Buffalo Sabres games this year. And all it takes is a few more minutes for Dylan Larkin to go out there and say, all right, we're going to start doing our thing now. We're going to start taking control of this game because the puck is behind the net. There's a little bit of a scrum. It's Robbie Fabry who shoves the guy off and he takes it onto his backhand. He throws it right up the middle and Dylan Larkin walks right in with a shot, beats the goaltender. It's a tie game 2-2. All it took was about 3 minutes for the Red Wings to tie things up after it was 2-0 Buffalo. Not to mention the fact that after this Larkin goal, the first one, you saw this team playing just a little bit better, making their passes just a little bit more crisper, making their strides a little bit stronger, and overall just making their cohesion work a tad better. This team started to wake up, and it took 50 minutes to get there, so yeah. Eventually it goes to overtime, and you kind of know what happens after that. This one is turned over by the Sabres in their own zone. Larkin throws it over to Leddy, who throws it back to Larkin, and he just absolutely rips it by the goaltender. Not a good turnover for the Sabres to take in their own zone, giving it right away to the Red Wings captain. But it is that same Red Wings captain who gets the tying goal, who gets the game-winning goal in overtime, and the Detroit Red Wings win this hockey game 3-2 in OT. And what a great game that was, especially coming after a 4-0 shutout win of this same Buffalo Sabres team a few days ago. And I think it was Mickey on the broadcast who actually straight up said that Larkin is going to decide that he's going to take over this game sometime in the third period, and that's exactly what he did. Now, sure, he had some help. He had help from Leddy, he had help from Fabry, but that's Larkin for you. That's why this guy's a multi-time All-Star. That's why this guy is the captain of the team. That is why he is the first-line center of the team. Kind of crazy how everything in Detroit is sort of falling into place right now, and this comeback against the Buffalo Sabres, while it wasn't a great game in general, because as we said, it was kind of boring, it was kind of quiet, it was kind of lackadaisical on both teams' ends, the Red Wings still came out here with a win that is good enough to put them out with 41 points in 40 games played. Sure, right now they are not in the playoffs, but they're 5 points back of the Boston Bruins. Now, the Bruins have won 5 in a row. The Bruins also have 5 games in hand. The Bruins have a lot of 5s attached to them. Yeah, my goodness. 5 points ahead of the Wings, 5 straight wins, 5 games fewer played. It's going to be a pretty difficult, long, and winding road for the Wings to make the playoffs if you want to say they're going to beat Boston for that final wildcard spot. But hey, if they make the playoffs, fantastic. If they don't make the playoffs and they kind of stay in this range, that is also fantastic as well. I trust Stevie Y and the Detroit Red Wings and their scouting staff enough to make a good draft pick at whatever it is they pick, maybe 14th, 15th, 13th overall. They took Kosa in that range last year. But when it comes to the Wings, just in general, how crazy is it that 2 years ago, this team was one of the worst teams we had seen in NHL history? Go out there, get 4th overall in the draft, get Lucas Raymond after missing out on Lafreniere and Byfield and Stützle. How crazy is it that 2 years is all it takes for a team to go from that to what they are right now? Pretty much in the wildcard race, sort of in the wildcard race, 5 points, 5 games at a disadvantage in terms of that wildcard race, but they're still there. And it comes in wins like this. The old Red Wings team, the Red Wings team that was coming in last place and getting Lucas Raymond in the 2020 draft, that team probably would have crumbled away after the Boston Bruins got that 1-0 lead and after there were no goals scored in the second period. It's crazy because Jeff Blashill has been the guy behind it all, but the personnel on the ice has just changed a little bit. Some guys are a little bit older. You have more prospects that have graduated onto this team and that are pulling some very significant weight. Dylan Larkin is kind of back to form right here. And so, for the Red Wings, it is awesome to see wins like these. Obviously, they're not perfect. You never want to go down 1-0, 2-0 to the Buffalo Sabres with 10 minutes left in the third period, but just seeing how they pulled off the comeback, how they pulled off the win, how Larkin got things done in overtime, man, that was great. And for anybody who's going out there checking out on the rookie scoring race, Lucas Raymond did not get a point in today's game. But Moritz Seider did. He assisted on the Namestnikov shorthanded goal. He's the guy that passed it off. And it was a very nice, mature play, too. Stepping up on the rush to force that 2-on-1 into existence, he manifested that really quickly in a play that not a lot of defensemen would be willing to make because, I'm a defenseman, I gotta stay on the penalty kill, I'm on the back end, I gotta stay behind the play. Nah, man, Seider isn't your regular defenseman. He's going to take it, he's going to go with it, especially if he sees a lane. So, talk to me in the comments, what do you think about my goodness, I said it again, today's game of the Red Wings versus the Sabres. What did you think about the comeback? What did you think about Larkin and the way that he bounced back? All the stuff that we had seen here today. I hope you enjoyed this Rosén, and bye.